let's talk about what we can use light language for. As you know, it is that high vibrational frequency that we are receiving from a multi-dimensional self. We are interpreting it through our human body. What is the point of it all? Why do we need it? What can we use it for? How can it help me? So apart from having that beautiful connection to your own higher self and having that beautiful space where you can be one with your true self, we can use the light language, which is still obviously part or is our connection to ourself. We can use it for so many different things. I use it. Sometimes I don't know what I'm using it for. Sometimes I will just code. Sometimes I will just speak. I know that I am often clearing things for the collective. I am clearing things for the space that I'm in. I am clearing things for people I don't even know, or people I do know, or for the street, for this suburb. I am clearing things because this is what I'm meant to do. I'm using my hands and my vibrational frequency from my multi-dimensional higher self to clear the energy, to clear that density. And where I was speaking earlier about all that strands and the oneness of the universe, when I'm trying to pull in different things for myself, I need to clear densities and things, not just for me, but for other people, places, things as well. So I am always connecting to myself in the understanding that whatever I'm doing is for the highest good of not only myself, but for everyone else as well, for the collective, for the oneness, for the unity of it all. So I'm always doing this for the benefit of everyone. It's not always just for me. So sometimes I will do things randomly all the time, or speak, or, draw, write, whatever it is. I'm always doing things and I don't always know what it's for. So sometimes we will just be bringing in our light language and showing it through our human for whatever purpose it needs to be. We don't need to know what that is. We just need to know that, it's always working perfectly in that moment, in that time, for whatever it needs to be doing. We can also set intentions and be specific with our light language, where we can be like, okay, I need to heal something. Okay, my arm's sore. Okay, let's keep connecting to ourselves. See what I would do if my arm was sore. The way I look at pain and things is I search for an emotion or a belief or a story first. Then I track it, see if it's attached to anything. But I also use the light language as well to say, okay, please help me clear this. And my light language can allow me to get that download or that knowing or understanding what that actual pain is caused from, or it can help me to clear it, or it can take me to a memory or remembrance or another step which alleviates that pain, if that makes sense. So I use the light language to be able to heal that. You can also do it for other people. So if someone came to you and like I do it all the time when I see things with people who are happening online, and it's, I'm not feeling well. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to send you some healing energy. And we can do that. We can set the intention to our higher self that we're going to send some healing, loving energy to someone else. And we can do that through our vibrational higher self. And then what I'm interpreting and what I am putting out with my human is going to be received by the receiving person on their higher energetic frequency. So it may not be me and that person even understanding what I'm doing, but at a soul level, it's like we're talking soul to soul. It's like, hey, what's happening over there? You need some help. Let me give you some codes. Let me give you some clean energy. Let me give you some frequency, whatever it needs. We may be more sort of experienced in different areas to what that other person is, and have different codes or different collectives or paths that we know with different skills, if you will, and they're able to be passed on to someone else to bring in another set of codes or whatever it is to help that person heal, to help that person see what they need in that moment and why they became sick or why they had that situation, so that then they can heal and clear that and remove it for themselves. So we can do it for clearing. We can also do it on animals. So that healing is the same thing. We set the intentions and we can use the healing to do on animals. I've actually never done that, so I can't speak too much about that, but I do know a lot of people do it. So it is something you can try. As of course, if you always have the highest intention for it. When we use light language around other people and other people are either watching us or listening or seeing what we're writing, drawing, painting, moving, whatever, we can actually unlock remembrances for that. We can actually give things to other people on an energetic level that they may not even know about. So just say I started speaking something and you're watching this video, but you're watching it in a coffee shop and someone walks past and they hear me speaking something, and even though they're not looking at it, even though they're not listening to it, their soul might have grabbed what I was saying, and that person may have something else happen to them, or because of their soul at a soul level later on down the track, because of this interaction, their soul can store that codes or energetic vibrations or frequencies for use later on. So that person may not be ready yet. That person, like if you went up and said, hey, do you want to unlock your light language? That person may not be ready yet. So it can be stored in there at a soul level. So that soul has received what it needs and it will come out whenever it needs to come out. We can also use it, like I was speaking, when we get activated. If we speak it, we can activate it in others, so that people who are ready, or that is what their next step is, you will be able to activate that light language in them so that they are able to speak it, so that they can get their own soul language remembered. You can also use light language to clear energies. So you may see some people who use sage or singing bowls to clear energy from a room. You can actually use light language. So I do that before I set my day, or if I'm in the energy of other people, I can use my light language to clear those energies so that my energies are fresh and, you know, my surroundings, my energetic frequency around me is nice and clean, and I'm not taking on board other people's energies. So you can do that with your light language as well, and it's just easier setting an intention that that's what you want your light language to, and that's what you want your higher self to give you right in that moment. The other thing we can also use with our light language is be able to amend the quantum architecture of this earthly plane. So you may start to see some people who talk about how they do different grid work, or they're working on different things for the collective, or, you know, they're fixing up ley lines, or all different types of things. And there's a lot of people in the background who do a lot of work that you won't even know about, who are using their light language, and a collection of these souls who are doing this deep work for this earth, for this dimension that we're on, for this existence that we are, and making sure that our energies are good, making sure that our grids are all in the best energetic frequency for us. They are helping clear collective knowings and understandings. They are working on, like I was saying in one of the earlier videos, about how when we attract, whether it's good or bad, to certain topics, they are helping alleviate situations and things like that, and clearing the density. So when I was saying earlier that sometimes I don't know what I'm doing, we're clearing things in the architecture of the actual space of our existence. We can create portals and grids and so many other things that I don't want to get into them, but we can use them for that as well. Using our light language can also help us unlock different types of spiritual gifts. So there's so many things that we probably don't even think of that we can unlock. And it's amazing to see these things sort of come in, but it can sometimes be difficult because it's not like, that's not normal. One of the things for me that came in was when I was walking in the bush one day, I had this inkling to go and touch a tree, right? So I put my hand on the trunk of the tree and I could literally see its face, and the face represented its personality and that tree. What the, what was that? And so then I went and did it to every tree, and every single tree I touched, I could see a different face. And it wasn't like, oh, this is what the tree looks like. It was the essence of what I interpreted that face as the personality of what that tree was. So it was fascinating. So I would find that this one was a young one, this one was an old one, and this one, you know, these three are brothers. It was really quite fascinating. But of course, what happens when things like that happen to you? You're like, it's not real, that's made up. You've just made that up. You look like an idiot. So that was one of those beliefs I really had to overcome to allow more in. But that's what can happen when you use your light language, is that you can unlock these different gifts. Your intuition will increase, your psychic abilities, your mediumship abilities, and so many other different tools, thoughts, and downloads and understandings and knowings. That's one thing that I found is I will have this general view of something or an opinion on something, and I will get this download and I'll be like, oh my God, no, that all makes so much sense. And it's like, whoa, I never thought of anything like that. So there's a lot of different things like that that can happen. And for you to sort of take them on board and really sort of utilize them is going to be part of working on those emotional beliefs, so that we allow them to come in and you accept, know, and understand that they are real and that they are things that you can use, and we can do those things that you believe that you can't do, that seem like a Harry Potter movie or something, but they're real. You just need to believe that they're real. And the last thing I'm just going to speak about too is with our light language is, because I had sort of spoken about it before, is bringing in different collectives, connecting to other dialects and beings and aspects of self. So when you're using your light language, you can be, okay, I'm going to, you know, call in my Arcturian self, and you can ask your Arcturian self to come in, and you can either talk to them in your mind, whatever way happens for you. You can speak to them with the voice coming out. You can see them in your mind. You can feel them in your heart, whichever way it's going to come through. You can sign, you can draw, you can make something. But using your light language is that key for your soul to connect to those other versions of your soul self in those other realms, dimensions, space, and realities. And that's another thing that will become sort of, did I really just see that or hear that or speak to that? Is going to be a belief. The only thing that's going to hold you back from allowing that is a belief. So I really encourage you to look at those beliefs. If you are finding that some knowings, understandings, gifts, or weird stuff's happening and you're not fully grasping it or understanding it or wanting to believe or allowing it in, is you need to go back and work on those beliefs and those emotional coding. But there's so many things that you can use light language for, but they're probably some of the bigger ones. And I think, you know, I think that's enough for now. It's a lot on what it can do. I mean, what can't it do? Because it is it's our soul frequency, and it's the existence of everything. And it is the ultimate feeling of that oneness and connection to a pure, total, higher, amazing, multi-dimensional self.